Hey there everyone, welcome to Violet's Dream Tarot. So today we're doing a very exciting reading. Today we're going to be getting urgent messages from your spiritual team. So I'm in a different space right now. I've come to my other address for the holiday period, and with the new filming setup it's a little bit cramped. I don't have as much space here, so I really apologize if at any point I knock the camera or if it just doesn't look quite as good as it did at my other address. I'll only be here for a few weeks over the holiday period, so please bear with me if the quality is a little bit lower during this time, or if at any point I knock the microphone or the camera, or I have to edit a point in the video when I do that. So it might look a little bit disjointed if that does happen, but I'll try my best to make sure that it doesn't. So welcome to those of you that are new, and those of you that have recently found the channel, and of course welcome back to those of you who are long-term viewers. So today we are doing, as I said, urgent messages from your spiritual team, and we've got these cute little nutcrackers on the piles, so I'll be holding those up for a better view. But of course, before I get into that, I want to say a big thank you to all of my lovely subscribers and to all of my wonderful patrons as well, including Alexandra, Kelly, Nicole, Joan, Cara and Mia. Thank you so much to all of you for all of your support. So let's take a look more in detail at the nutcrackers and the piles that we've got today. So just take a deep breath and think about your spiritual team, or ask yourself, what messages do my spiritual team have for me, or what messages do I need to receive or need to hear right now? What do I need to know right now? Anything like that. We're not going to be focusing on any particular area of your life in this video. We're just going to be getting the messages that need to come through urgently. So on pile 1, we have a nutcracker with a sort of dark blue uniform or jacket, and we'll be using the Sun and Moon Tarot for pile 1. Haven't used these nutcrackers for a long time. So then on pile 2 we've got this nutcracker with a white jacket, and we'll be using the Ramses Tarot of Eternity for pile 2. And over on pile 3 we've got a nutcracker with a red jacket, and he's holding like a kind of orb in his hand, and we'll be using the Tarot of the Divine for pile 3. So take as much time as you need. Go back to the video if you need to look at the close-ups again, or if you need a little bit more time just to sort of look at the cards. Choose the pile that you're feeling drawn towards with your intuition, not the nutcracker that you prefer or the deck that you find the prettiest or anything like that, but just the one that you feel drawn towards with your intuition, because that will give you the most accurate reading, and that's what we're here for at the end of the day. So when you're ready, I will get started with pile number 1. Hey there group 1, welcome to your reading. If you chose the lovely dark blue jacketed nutcracker and the Sun and Moon Tarot, this is going to be your reading. We're just going to pop him there next to Gaia and Gjord. So let's take a look at your tarot cards first. We're going to get urgent messages from your spiritual team. Group 1, I would love it if you could subscribe if you haven't already. That means that you get notified whenever I release a video, so you never miss out, and it also really helps out my channel as well. So let's see, group 1. Okay, so we've got quite a few tarot cards, so let's see what they have to say. So firstly we have got the 10 of Pentacles, which says wealth. We've got art, temperance. Really love this deck. We have got the 3 of Cups, abundance. The Prince of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords in this deck. And the 7 of Swords, futility. Okay, so we've got Sagittarius, Gemini, Libra, and also Aquarius showing up in your reading today. So there's a few things going on. Okay, I can see that there's sort of a sense of disillusionment with your life at the moment. It feels like you're a kind of work hard, play hard sort of person. That's the vibe that I'm getting. And it's like you want to spend more quality time with people, and it feels like you just want to dial back a little bit on the intensity of things, because the temperance card right there is showing me this desire for balance. It's showing me a desire for wholeness and unity and coming together. And the Three of Cups, it's a lovely card, but it can also be like, you know, real partying really hard. And the Seven of Swords is kind of showing me there's some regret in your life at the moment, or there's a feeling of, are friendships shallow, or are people even potentially lying to me? You know, there's this sort of feeling of not being supported, or feeling of even betrayal in your friendships, or in your family circle, or at work maybe. There's just a feeling of not being supported by people. And the Ten of Pentacles shows this real desire to have those incredible bonds with people and to spend the time with the people who matter. Okay, so I feel as though with those cards, and also with the Knight of Swords, there's like this desire to really look at your situation and ask yourself what changes need to be made. It's like you're trying to look at things a lot more practically now, and your spiritual team are encouraging this. Trying not to be too ruled by the emotions, or trying not to be too sentimental about things as you move forward. I think some of you are maybe trying to lay down strict boundaries, and you're a little bit worried about how that will come across to other people, whether it'll come across as you just being mean, or you being like dramatic or something. And your spiritual team are saying, no, it's important that you lay down what's right for you, and not just fitting in with everyone else all of the time. And it's important that you try and remove the emotion from this process as well, because that will make it easier for you to see what exactly you need to do. Okay, so then we have got number 14, Initiate. Curiosity, open, warm. Really lovely card. I love the colours of that card and the warmth that it exudes as well. So Initiate kind of makes sense with this new process that you seem to be in, because that obviously refers to beginnings and opening your eyes and realising that things maybe need to change, or that you're ready for something new. The curiosity makes sense there. And warm, just that you are this caring person, that you exude this warmth, just like that card does, and you don't want to upset anyone or hurt anyone's feelings. But it's like you're saying to yourself, okay, I've given so much, or I've always made so many concessions, and now it's time for me. You know, it's been time for them for so long, and now it's time for me. I need to take a step back and have time for me. So your spiritual team definitely encouraging this. And I really get this vibe as well from the Ten of Pentacles, the Initiate card, and also kind of the Three of Cups, a need to spend time at home with loved ones. Like they're all very cozy, comfy cards while still being sociable. It's not I'm at home and I'm, you know, shutting myself off from everyone. It's I'm at home and I'm really cherishing the time that I spend with my loved ones. And it's cozy, and we're all just enjoying each other's company. Angels of the Four Directions, the Four of Spirit. Okay, so you have very strong archangelic energy surrounding you now. That is, the Four Direction angels in this deck are, I believe, Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Uriel. So those angels are around you when you pull that card. They're really working with you and trying to empower you and support you and lift you up and help you to understand that if things need to change, you have the power to do that and the right to do that as well. It's not just about changing your own self, but also circumstances around you that you do have control over, whilst accepting that other things you maybe don't have full control over. Okay, so your spiritual team also say, someone needs your support. Can you help them? We will guide you. Number 35. Lovely feather there connecting with the angel imagery. And trust, love, and appreciate yourself. Show respect for you. Number 16. That makes so much sense. And I think when we read those cards together, it makes sense with what I was just saying about needing to lay down boundaries. Like, you can still be this loving, kind person who cares about others and shows support to people when they need it, whilst also maintaining a firm boundary of, but I can't keep giving until I'm completely depleted, or I can't keep giving until there's nothing left, because I can't give from an empty cup, you know? So it's like directing some of that love and support and care that you show to other people so attentively towards yourself now. And recognizing that there's nothing selfish about that or egotistical about that, but that it's something that you genuinely need. And in a way, it's kind of a selfless thing, because then you'll have more energy to give to others again. I think I've said it before recently, but there's nothing altruistic about giving until you're completely on the ground and have no more to give. The 8 of Keys, the Master Artisan. Interesting card. Obviously that's about building and working hard on something. And the 5 of Scrolls, diversity. So diversity is about wanting to change things and needing to make a change in your life because the status quo is no longer fulfilling for you for whatever reason. I'm going to have a quick look at the Master Artisan. It's been a long time since I've used this deck, and I want to make sure that you're getting not just my intuitive interpretation, but also the interpretation of the deck. So let's hold it up. 8 of Keys, the Master Artisan, says, inside a bright and bustling artisan's workshop, apprentices are busy at their workbenches, which are arrayed with the beautiful fruits of their labours. The Master Artisan pours a number of beautiful, shining gems into the open hands of one of his apprentices. This card indicates that you now have the opportunity to offer your talents, your purpose, and your gifts to the world, making a contribution to many. Don't be shy and don't hold back what you have to share. It's not the time to hide your light under a basket. So literally, it's this dichotomy that you've been feeling between giving of yourself and sharing what you know and what you know, the gifts you have to give, whilst also balancing that with taking care of yourself. It's like trying to strike that balance and not really knowing maybe how to do that very well, or not being fully aware of what the right ratio or balance is. So your spiritual team are basically holding your hand and supporting you through finding this balance, whilst reminding and reassuring you that this is the right option for you. This is something you absolutely should be putting your attention into and really putting a focus on. Sorry guys, for some reason I accidentally stopped filming there. I clicked off the camera. So you got 2 cards from this deck. This one is the first one, Concurrence, Oppelmål og selvtillid. And that means competition and sort of like offer courage and confidence, self-confidence. And then you also got Oplysning, søg åndelig vækst, enlightenment, seek spiritual growth. Beautiful cards. I love the colors and the sort of mystical imagery of those cards. So I think with this whole have courage and self-confidence message, I think that makes a lot of sense. And competition, like, you know, it's not a competition as to how much you can give to others. Make sure that you include yourself in that giving sense. Yeah, and enlightenment, seek spiritual growth. I'm wondering if that's to do with the whole diversity message and then being able to give. So, you know, diversifying or varying your day-to-day life and then being able to give of the wisdom you've received, or being able to give now that you're aware of the unique talents that you have. So I really love those messages. Let's get another card. Oh, that was quick. Okay, we've got Aphrodite, Passion. That jumped out in the pre-shuffle. So I think we'll also pull another one. We'll shuffle properly. Morrigan, Rhythm, wow. Yes, rhythm, listen to the rhythm of your body and your energy sources. You know, some days you're feeling more depleted than others. Some days you feel like you can give more. And so I feel like it's saying pace yourself, but also don't feel like every day has to be the same. You know, don't feel like you have to give the same amount or show up in the same way every single day, because that's not feasible for most people. Show yourself some of the kindness that you seem to show to everyone else around you, group one. And I love that you've got Aphrodite, because obviously Aphrodite is that goddess of love, and she always shows it to herself first, and she teaches us how to luxuriate and take care of ourselves and cherish the divinity within us as well as we do within others, you know? So I really love that Aphrodite has come up, and I love passion there, because it's not just passion in the sort of love sense, but also in the things that you're passionate about. And we've got so many messages about being curious and about giving of your talents and diversifying your talents and learning more, and this being a continual learning process for you. And of course, the Knight of Swords is also known for his curiosity and his sort of questioning mind and always wanting to learn something every single day. Really wonderful. Okay, so then we have got Goddess Villa, number 26, God's Will, or the Will of God. And then number 6, Das Tao. So literally that message of balance again. And I'm pretty sure, yes, in the Temperance card in this deck, there is the Taoist symbol of the yin yang there. And obviously the imagery of the sort of Taoist practitioner or priest in the black and white that the angel is wearing. So that is very, very interesting. Okay, so it's all about balance again. Balance within your own self, within your own life, in everything that you do, in the world around you, in your relationships, in your thoughts and your feelings. Gaining control, not because you want to be in charge of everything, but so that you can be at peace with everything. So control over your feelings in the sense that you're not being ruled by them. Control over your thoughts in the sense that they're not spiraling. You know, not in the sense that you absolutely have control over everything in your life, because that's where God's will comes in. And learning to make peace with things and accept things that are outside of your control is all part of taking back control. In many ways, you've got to first accept what you can't control in order to feel in control. So it's a continual learning process that I think you've been going through in various different ways. Group 1, I think you might not have been aware of it at first, but now all of the threads are sort of coming together and you're realizing this is a path of balance, or a path of finding your voice, finding your confidence, your courage, and your comfort with being in control, I think. Oh, that's so sweet. So you've got this really cute card of the little squirrel surrounded by all of these acorns in his hole in the tree. There's a little heart-shaped window cut out of it. And how similar is that to this image? Because I was immediately drawn to the squirrel in that picture, but I didn't really know why, so I didn't comment on it. Yeah, that's really sweet. Obviously, this is a timeless reading, so you know, you can watch this whenever you want, but if you're watching it when I'm posting, we're in winter now. We're close to the winter solstice. And squirrels always make me think of winter in the sense that they're prepared for the coming winter. And so maybe this is a squirrel spirit animal coming through for you saying, remember to pace yourself, because the squirrel doesn't just live day to day, hand to mouth, you know, either in their resources or in their energy. They store up what they need for the harsher times ahead. So it's like the same needs to be done with you. Store up sleep, store up self-care, whatever form that takes for you. Make sure that you have what you need energy-wise and time-wise to give in future. Otherwise, you're going to burn yourself out. Don't live day to day in the sense that you're not preparing ahead. Okay, and I also love the really cozy vibes of that card, because that fits with the other message we've received about enjoying spending time with loved ones in a cozy environment, in the home, making everything comfy, and just really cherishing those people. I think that's super lovely. say your partnership cards from this deck to do with any relationship, not necessarily a romantic relationship, just any relationship in your life. At this moment, you've got number 25, Integration, so integration. Then you got number 37, Verzeihung bitten, asking for forgiveness. And then this card, number 83, Sucht, addiction. Okay, so very interesting. So integration sort of, to me, means slotting in with each other's lives and priorities. It means making time for others and equally them making time for you, sort of merging your lives seamlessly and no one's giving more than they're receiving and vice versa. Asking for forgiveness, you know, that could be in any situation where you feel as though you've done wrong or you could have handled the situation better, or maybe it's someone approaching you with a request for forgiveness or with a genuine apology. Even if they don't maybe say it, they try and show it through their actions. And the addiction comes through when there's an unhealthy dynamic in a relationship where there's codependency, when one person feels like they need the other person in order to survive or to be happy, or maybe where one person is repeatedly asking for forgiveness to feel at peace within themselves, and so it's gone beyond the point of wanting to be forgiven. It's more like needing to be validated in themselves. Okay, so you might recognize that in a relationship that you're having right now. You could be any one of these people, like either side, the forgiver or the forgivee, the person asking for forgiveness. Yeah, fit that how it fits into your situation, but that's what your spiritual team are showing me today. So let's keep going. Group 1. Whoa, okay, we're going to take all of those that have jumped out. I do like to get several cards from this deck actually, because they're small cards and they make a nice big picture together. They are tea leaf reading cards, which is a really nice concept, I think. They take images that you would see when reading the tea leaves and they've put them into card form. So we have Apple, temptation will test you, as your first card. So maybe that's to do with food or addiction or a relationship or something else. Grasshopper, situations in the balance that require careful handling. So a sort of delicate situation. Needle and thread, a sincere wish will be granted. That's a super lovely card. Caterpillar, things will not always be this way. A change is coming. Okay, and I did feel that you were at the start of this, as I said, initiation, or this time of wanting something to change. Vase, secret admirer. That's sweet. Maybe that's where the addiction is coming in a relationship. Forest, muddled, unclear thinking. Dark woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with dark complexion or hair. And casket, someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. So that makes sense with what we've said about wanting to change the end of a situation, but it could be that you are actively pulling away from a person, or you feel a relationship sort of floating away from you, so to speak, as sort of a natural pulling away from one another. We have new moon in Cancer, relax. Okay, that fits with the message of needing to find a little bit more balance and just not be quite so stressed about things all the time. Okay, nice. And then we have Kuda lecieć. Okay, and this means where to fly to. Okay, and it is the 3 of arrows, if that means anything to you. This is a deck that doesn't have a guidebook, so you're meant to use it completely intuitively. So Kuda lecieć basically means where to fly to. So it's like you being at the start of that transition period, or at the end of a situation, and you're like, well, where to now? What do I do now? You know, what do I focus on, or what should my direction be now? I'm not sure exactly where I want to head. And so your spiritual team are saying that they recognize that and they're 100% behind you in this situation. Okay, group one. So a really bad thing happened. I filmed all of the piles. Obviously, yours is the first, and then put everything away and was getting ready to edit the video so that I could put it together into one big file to upload to YouTube. And the video editing software crashed while I was trying to save the last part of your video. And this means that it deleted the file. So I spent over an hour like downloading stuff to try and find this file and bring it back so that I could repair it and, put it all together again. It didn't work. So I've had to come back and put all of the cards, like find the cards that were on your pile and put them all out again to film this bit again. So I'm sorry that you have lost the messages that came out first in your reading, but I guess that meant that it wasn't meant for you. And yeah, it's been a long day. So we're going to get this done again. So hopefully it doesn't look too different from when I first started filming the board. I've put them back in the same order, the cards. So we'll get your charms now, group one. And if you want to turn down the volume on your device now, that's your prerogative. Some people don't like the sound of the charms. Some people really do like it. So just do whatever works for you. They're metal, so they can be a bit loud sometimes. Okay, group one. So we have got the letter A landing on the apple card. That's interesting. That could be literally referring to the apple, or, a person or a word might come to you with A. Doesn't have to be the beginning of the word, but just something where the A is quite prominent within the word that draws your attention to it. We have the lightning bolt, something that happens very suddenly, a shock or a sudden realization. We've got see the bigger picture with the giraffe. We've got the Page of Pentacles, taking things one step at a time, not rushing yourself, going slowly. The olive branch, reaching out. Okay, interesting message there with the fact that you've got the asking for forgiveness card, reaching out to another person, harmony or intending to create harmony within a relationship. We have the little child unicorn charm, which is a symbol of innocence and purity. So it could be referring to children being important in your life right now, but it's also symbolic of you being innocent or not guilty in a certain situation, you not being to blame for a situation that has gone sour or a problem that has been caused. You have the conch shell landing on Aphrodite's card. Now that is super interesting because the conch shell is one that I use as one of Aphrodite's calling cards. So the conch shell normally refers to any sea deity or any deity that has the conch shell as their calling card or an attribute that they are connected to. But the fact that it's landing on Aphrodite to me is just saying it's literally just Aphrodite again, showing her support for you and letting you know that she's here and that she would like to work with you. So that's like a double message from the goddess, and I love how it landed on her card as well. We've got stability and security with the anchor, so finding your home, finding the place that feels safe and secure for you. We have the cactus, someone maybe not letting you in, someone being a bit prickly. It can be like you laying down boundaries firmly, not letting anyone, invade your space in that sense. If you've laid down the boundary, you stick with it, you're firm. We've got a dragonfly down here, which is a good luck symbol, and it's also a fire elemental. And then here we've got the narwhal. Okay, the narwhal is symbolic of a breakthrough, getting from one place to the next place. A breakthrough maybe in the sense of an idea or in the sense of changing your behavior or a physical journey. That's the narwhal. Then you have the moon, dreams and intuition, symbolism coming towards you. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but the trust symbol there, having confidence and faith in yourself and in a process. Okay, so those are your charms. We'll move on now to your dice. So let me just do your pre-roll, group 1. Okay, we're rolling number 7, so the 7th set of dice. Now that's interesting because group 2 got this set of dice. They're the Harry Potter dice, and group 2, at the time of filming it, was going to be the first person ever to have seen it. Because I've never had it come out so far in a YouTube reading. I think I've filmed maybe 2 readings since having these dice, and it's not come out, and I don't think it's come out in a personal reading. But now group 1 are getting them as well. So there they are, the Harry Potter dice. Let's see how many we're going to roll. All 9. Wow. Group 2 got that as well. Okay. Group 1. Interesting. Let me just see what we have. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we've got the chocolate frog, and to me that just symbolizes like catch it while you can, like an opportunity that's only going to come around once. The chocolate frog jumps away from Harry in his first encounter with it and jumps out the window, and that's what I see that dice meaning is just catch it while you can. Equally, the cauldron represents a process, especially where you are sort of mulling over a decision or mulling over an opportunity. So the cauldron representing the process of your thoughts, the contemplation while you stir and you add in other ingredients. Harry's sorting hat there, Harry with the sorting hat on, that does refer to decision making. There we go, just managed to get it to focus finally. So that's Harry's sorting hat. I'll just show you the cauldron again up close. Yep. So decision making, coming to a decision or a conclusion. The mandrake. Okay, the mandrake maybe refers to something that you don't want to hear. Like you sort of, put your hands over your ears and you're like, I don't want to listen to this. This isn't what I want to hear right now. And equally, we've got the divination symbol there, the crystal ball. So think about how the prophecies in Harry Potter are often quite ominous or something that you don't want to hear. Maybe there's something going on right now, or even a message in this reading that you're kind of thinking, no, that's not my message. But deep down, it is your message. You just don't want to hear it. Maybe you've been getting that in just your daily life in general, like some feeling coming towards you and you're thinking, no, it's not true, or it's not real, or it's a coincidence, and that's really just because you don't want it to be true. So consider that there's something there that you don't want to hear or that you don't want to acknowledge. You have got the door, which is symbolic of opportunity, new experiences, opening doors. We've got the person who is transfiguring, undergoing some kind of magical experience, and to me that's just about things taking shape and taking form. But also, given the fact that it's landed on the Tau, it's kind of symbolic possibly of how you're feeling discombobulated, possibly just feeling like all over the place, not grounded, unsure of which direction you're being pulled in. And we have Ron Weasley, a good friend, someone who supports you, someone who's there for you. That's landing on the addiction card, the Zucht card, but also kind of also on the asking for forgiveness card. And your final dice is Nagini. So a transformation for the worse is what I think of when I see Nagini, because Nagini was a woman who was transformed into a snake, and so it was like a curse. It was a negative transformation. So when I see that, it's like maybe you're noticing that people around you are undergoing transformations or changing in a way that you don't like. And maybe that's connected to this message of something that you don't want to hear. But in general, I can see that there's just this desire to really care for your friends and care for the people that are your loved ones. There's a sense here of mulling over a decision and trying to find that space where you're grounded, like with the anchor and that transfiguration dice, it's just all of, I need to find that space where I'm at peace and where I'm not battling with myself and where I'm not, unsure of where I'm headed. And I think it's really interesting with this chocolate frog, the message of, catch it while you can, the opportunity that's only going to come around once. So that's really interesting. That's what I'm seeing in your reading. Interesting that dice landed on the grasshopper as well, how they both sort of jump. Yeah, thank you so much for bearing with me today. It was really honestly devastating when I lost that video and realized I was going to have to film this again. But I hope the new messages are maybe more fitting than what the other ones would have been. I do see that there are some charms that are repeated anyway. So that's, to be expected. But yes, let's just take this as a blessing in disguise, group 1. Thank you so much for being here. Please do let me know in the comments what you thought of this video. If you enjoyed it, please let me know. If it resonated with you as well, I would love to hear from you. Please like, share and subscribe as well if you enjoyed this video, because that really helps me out and it means that more people get to see these messages on YouTube. And if you are interested in what I do here on the channel and you'd like to get more involved in my work, then check out the comment that I post in the comments section and the description box as well, because they're both full of links. So you can follow me on Instagram to get daily oracle cards in your feed. You can head over to Etsy and book a private reading, a healing session, or get information about your guardian angel from me. I have other services and products on there as well, and I think when I post this video the Yule sale is going to be live, so there should be discounts when you head over there now if you're watching when I post this, up until the solstice. And I would love it if you could head over to Patreon and consider becoming a patron. There you get access to exclusive content like extra picker cards, giveaways, healing sessions, etc. in return for more regular support of my work and of the channel. If you'd like to send me a Yule gift or a birthday gift, as I've got a birthday coming up in the next month, then do check out my PayPal link. That is a space for tips and donations which support me in the work that I do and help me to keep making these videos. And also my wish lists as well. I've got one on Amazon and one for the products that you can't buy on Amazon. Those are for tarot and oracle decks, and also boxes of dice as well. So definitely check those out if you would like to send something my way, if you're feeling that generous and kind. And also we have a discount going on with Modern Day Manifestations. They are very kindly offering 10% off for all Violet Stream Tarot viewers if you use the discount code Violet and follow the link that's in the description box or in the comments section to validate that discount code. So they create beautiful handmade crystal jewelry. They ship internationally for free. And as I said, the discount code is Violet to get 10% off your first order. It's really, really beautiful jewelry and I thoroughly recommend it. So thank you so much for being here today, Group 1. Thank you for bearing with me. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Take care of yourselves, and yeah, just good luck with everything, Group 1. And I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Take care. Hey there, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Nutcracker with the white jacket and the Ramses Tarot of Eternity, this is going to be urgent messages from your spiritual team. Okay, so we're just going to pop him there. Let's get your tarot cards. I would love it if you could subscribe, Group 2, if you haven't already. That means that you get notified whenever I release a video so you don't miss an upload. And it also helps out my channel as well. Okay, so we've got your tarot cards. Let's see what they have to say. So you've got the Sun. It's a nice way to open up a reading. Then you have the Ace of Pentacles. Four of Swords. Seven of Cups. And the Knight of Swords. Okay, so Gemini, Libra and Aquarius coming through, potentially also Leo and Earth signs. So what I'm seeing is Your spiritual team are kind of asking you to reflect on what you've achieved so far. Okay, there's a sense here of be proud of where you've already been and, how far you've come, but also give yourself a little bit of a break. I can see that there's some kind of decision that you're trying to make, group two, where it's like you have lots of options and maybe they're all equally good, or maybe the pros and cons are all, sort of equal. Or there's a sense of just becoming ungrounded due to the amount of work and effort that you're putting in. And so that's where the Four of Swords comes in, as this need to take a break. But I feel like for a lot of you, it is needing to take a little bit of time out so that you have the headspace to make a decision, because that's where the Knight of Swords is coming in for me. And just to remind yourself that you're not in any way a failure. I feel like you've been struggling recently with, I'm not getting enough done, or what happens if I make the wrong decision and my life falls apart. I think you just need to remind yourself of, look where you were maybe several years ago, and look how far you've come since then. And would you ever have believed that you would be able to achieve or survive or overcome some of the things that you have in that time frame? Like, there's a real need to be proud of yourself according to your spiritual team, and pat yourself on the back. So well done from me, group two, for all of the work that you've done and for everything that you've survived. For some reason I want to say survived or overcome for a lot of you. So let's get started with your oracle cards. Okay. Elven Touch, number 8. Recovery, Comeback, Revival. Just trying to get this to focus a little bit. Really beautiful card. I love the silver and the grey. It's very different from a lot of cards that are like extremely colourful. And so I think that stands out really nicely as a contrast. So comeback, recovery, time to recover. But I think comeback, revival fits in with this theme of you potentially feeling like a failure, or feeling like in recent times you've not got enough done compared to how you maybe would in the past or in normal times, And there's a sense of, how have I let myself slump like this? But your spiritual team is saying, no, you're not slumping. You're regaining your strength, or you're taking time to decide what your next move is going to be. We have new supportive connections in the reverse, the 8 of People. So I think this is either about saying that you don't need to expand your social circle right now, group 2, or it's just reminding yourself to pay attention to the connections that you already do have. Maybe there's someone in your friend or family circle who can really help you out, who can maybe give you some mentorship or some advice that you need, or who can just be there for you. It feels like you're always trying to think of what you can do to be bigger and better. And your spiritual team are just trying to shift your focus back to what you already have, or what you've already achieved, or what you already have in many ways to be grateful for, And I think sometimes that can feel a little bit sort of trite as a reader to say like, oh, be grateful for what you have. But I genuinely do feel from this reading that you have a lot to be grateful for, group 2. And I think it's not so much that you're taking it for granted, but that you're always so focused on wanting to do well and wanting to do better and wanting to, make people proud of you or feel like you're still progressing in life, that you sometimes neglect to realize all of the incredible things and people that you do have around you. So that's quite a nice message, I think. Wow. Okay, group 2. So you've got, don't rush. Oh my goodness. Don't rush into making big decisions right now. Take your time. Wow. What number is that? Number 26. Okay, so that fits with what we've already said. And then this incredible card, we are proud of you and your achievements. Number 38. We're proud of you and aware of your achievements. That's incredible. That's so beautiful. Your spiritual team firstly want you to take some time before you make any big decisions or before you decide what your next move is going to be. And they also want you to know that they are so proud of you and they are so aware of everything that you're experiencing in the day-to-day. I love cards like this because it shows that your spiritual team are there with you. These cards are actually used for spirit communication with loved ones who have passed over. So you can take that as a message from them if you wish to, or just from your spiritual team in general, of which your ancestors and passed over loved ones are a part. But yeah, it just shows that they're with you in the day to day. They see what you're doing. They're aware of things. You're not alone. You're not sort of going through things by yourself. You have these helpers or these witnesses all the time who are seeing what you're seeing, feeling what you're going through as well, and just very aware of your daily experiences. So I love cards like that. I really do. Okay, we've got the Sands of Time in the reverse. 6 of Scrolls. Let's get another card from this deck. The Akashic Library in the reverse. Number 2. So these are both from the Akashic Tarot. I have not used this deck for a very long time. So I'm just going to refresh my understanding of the reversed meanings of those cards with the guidebook. So if we look at the 6 of Scrolls, the Sands of Time. Aha, that makes a lot of sense. So it says, in the reverse position, you have more time than you think. So there's no need to hurry. The sun is rising in the east on a new day and the hourglass is full. The task at hand may require more research and follow through, so take all the time you need. You may even have the opportunity to investigate further or to connect with others who can help. So take a breath. You've got plenty of time to explore. That's incredible, because it also drew in the others who can help, and that was kind of what I was feeling from the new supportive connections in reverse, that you have people around you that, while you might not be aware of it, have the ability to help you. Okay. So with the Akashic Library in reverse, it says, with the card reversed, the stairway leads farther and farther down. Although you may feel you're in a state of confusion, it is time to go deeper. The books of your Akashic knowledge may have been toppled, but they are always in reach. You may have stepped away from the psychic guidance from your inner sage. Perhaps there's been a disruption in your life, or maybe just a distraction. In either event, it's time to cast a renewed light on your past and on your inner discovery. Seek now to tap into the power within and through the records. Start today by writing a declaration of release from the things that have been muddling your clarity. Close your eyes and see them all disperse. With just a little effort, the book of your own Akashic record, which seems to have landed face down, can be righted and written upon by you. So I like that it mentioned renewal there, because of that Elven Touch card that we already had. And both of those cards just remind you that you have more time than you think you do. You have more time to research your decision, or to sit with it and see how you really feel about it, or to think about your next move and plan your next steps. You really do have a lot more time than you're actually aware of. Okay, so then we have this card, Vennskap med dyr, Kæmp for alle dyr. Okay, so this is a really cute card, and it says friendships with animals, fight for all animals. And I like that because you've got the cat and the peacock there. So yeah, friendships with animals, maybe they're part of the supportive connections that you already have. Maybe you have a pet that you love. My dog is just at my feet right now, listening to the readings. And yeah, maybe just spending time with animals, or walking around in nature and noticing the squirrels or the other animals around you, the birds and things, can just be really helpful to bring you back into yourself and take you away from catastrophizing about a lack of time, or from worrying about things that are very up in the air. It brings you back into that sense of grounding. So yes, you have a very special relationship with animals, group 2. We've got Yemaya, release. Makes sense because you were literally asked to write a declaration of release on that card. And Bast, or Bastet, pleasure. Doing the things that you enjoy. There's that cat imagery again. There's fish in Yemaya there. So more animals coming into the reading. Reconnecting with sensual things. Bastet is extremely sensual. She's all about dance and music and pleasure and joy. And obviously cats, when you stroke a cat, you really connect to that sensual part of yourself, and the purring as well is like a real therapeutic thing. It's been registered as something that does actually help people calm down. So connecting with animals can really help you. Connecting to your senses is so important. If you feel ungrounded, or if you feel sort of lightheaded, dizzy a lot of the time, or muddled in your thinking, staying grounded is super important. Okay, so here we've got another animal. Again, it's the ghost lion in the forest, and this always makes me think of feeling isolated, feeling like there's no one around you. And this makes so much sense with the message about there being people that you're not noticing or not aware of their expertise or the ways in which they can help. I also think, given that we're reading the tarot, it's interesting how it's a ghost lion, because when we think of the lion in tarot, we think of strength, the strength card. And so the ghost lion suggests feeling weak, feeling like you've lost your strength or you've been drained of your energy. So I think that's a really interesting imagery. Okay, so then we have got number 32, reiner Geist, pure spirit. And number 60, der Götze des Erfolges. Oh my goodness, you guys, the idol of success, okay? So pure spirit, this just represents the purity of your soul and your spirit, and your drive to achieve or succeed is based on purity. I'm not feeling at all that's an egotistical thing. I feel like it's just you genuinely want to improve your life all the time, or you genuinely feel so happy when you see that you're making progress towards goals, or you can notice like a shift from where you were a few months ago to where you are now. That keeps you motivated, it keeps you happy and content. So I don't for one moment think that this is like an ego issue with you at all. I don't. And so connecting to that purity of spirit is really important to help you feel better about this whole situation. But the idol of success is literally coming through as saying success is keeping you like prisoner, or the idea of success is keeping you captive because it's become a negative thing. Success is wonderful, prosperity is marvelous. When you feel like you're making progress, it's incredible and it's so motivating. But when it becomes obsessive and you feel restricted, when you're not achieving, you feel trapped, then it's obviously become a problem. So I think it's incredible that you've gotten so many cards that have really fit with what I first saw in the reading. Really beautiful. So we'll move on to some cards to do with relationships now. Now, this could just be any relationship in your life right now. It doesn't have to be romantic or a friendship or anything. It's just going to show up some energies that are currently present within a relationship in your life. Could even be the relationship you have with yourself, group 2. Okay, so we have got Kontraktion, number 69, contraction. Now this is a very similar image to the idol of success, the person who is like frozen, who is sort of stuck in this frozen energy. So you see there, they're in some kind of ice cube or maybe a glass box. It's like a similar vibe. Then we also have number 54, Beziehungsverschwörung. Okay, that's a very interesting card. That means relationship conspiracy. Okay, so when you become disillusioned with the idea of relationships, or when you feel like a relationship has other people making it worse, like conspiring or getting involved. So maybe like you have a friendship and other friends seem to be making it worse by getting involved or gossiping or spending time with that friend and excluding you, and that can apply to families, it can apply to love, it can apply to work colleagues even. Whenever you start to feel like everything's against you, or like this whole idea of relationships is like a complete conspiracy, like it's just not making anyone happy. Yeah, obviously that's a difficult mindset to be in, but that's showing up in your reading. We've also got number 20, Heilung. I like that, healing. And number 2, Attraktivität. Attractivity. Attractivity? No, that's not a word. Attraction. Struggling to speak English now. Attraction. Being attractive. Attractiveness. That's the word. Noticing the attraction you feel towards others and enjoying noticing that other people are attracted to you, basically. That's what that card is about. Okay. So I like to get a few cards from this deck because these are a really interesting concept. They are tea leaf cards, so symbols that you would normally see when reading the tea leaves, a different form of divination, being placed into card form. And I like it because getting quite a few of them builds up a picture of what's going on. So I'll just grab these. Right, so we've got Moon, changes in your life. Okay, and obviously the Moon in Tarot is a Pisces energy card. Claw, be careful, do not take risks. Maybe that's why you need more time to weigh up a decision to make sure that you're 100% on board with it. Turkey, someone is behaving stupidly. Maybe that's to do with the relationship conspiracy, other people getting involved. We've got the Happiness card. That's really nice. Notice the birds on that card as well, and the sun. Given that we've got Turkey and Claw, which are both kind of bird-like, and then the moon, and then we've got the sun with the birds and its happiness. More animals again. So we've then got Spear, heartache over what you no longer have. So maybe a sense of loss, or really remembering a time in your past and just feeling like an urge of like nostalgia, you know, that rush for what you can't have anymore because that was your childhood, or that was many years ago and the world's different now, or, you know, those people have moved on and are different people now. It's that kind of feeling. Coins, money will be coming to you. That's very positive. So maybe a windfall, maybe a promotion, maybe a gift, maybe just the dividends of your budgeting being paid back to you. And your final card from this deck is Tower, solid foundation, success with effort. So very different from the Tower card in Tarot. Okay, so solid foundation and success with effort. So definitely you're going to continue to have success in the future, Group 2. This is just like a little blip, a little time for you to consolidate your thoughts and your energy. Wow, your spiritual team say full moon in Pisces, forgive. So there's Pisces coming through again in the moon symbolism. Forgive. Forgive someone who's behaving stupidly, maybe, with that Turkey card. Forgive people that you've had to release or who are no longer in your life. Forgive yourself for the pressure that you've placed upon yourself. Forgive situations that went wrong or didn't turn out in the way that you hoped that they would. And your final card before we move on to your charms and dice, Group 2, is Poterialas Felistiach. Lost in the leaves. Okay, and it's the 8 of circles, but it also looks like 80. So if that has any meaning to you, take that on board. And you can see these cute little creatures, little blobs lost in the leaves there. So Poterialas Felistiach for me means like when something is sort of lost to time, or when something just never really got off the ground or never turned out the way you wanted it to be. So there's no guidebook for this deck. You have to read everything intuitively, and obviously you might have a different interpretation of that card. But yeah, to me it's just like looking back on what never really was to begin with, or looking back on what could have been but never got off the ground, or, you know, maybe you feel currently like the leaves have blown over you and you've become forgotten, you know, like if we go back to that success message, you feel like you've just been lying in one position for a long time and the earth has started to reclaim you. It's the kind of vibe I'm getting where you're just thinking, do you know what, why even bother? If I'm just staying here and not moving forward, why even bother? Okay, so I definitely don't think that the earth is going to reclaim you, Group 2, just yet. I think you've got a little bit of a time to have a comeback and to enjoy some more success. Really getting a lot of your personality coming through in this reading, which is really nice. And Spirit wants you to know that they're so proud of what you've achieved in the past and already proud of the things that you're going to achieve in the future. So just take this time to think through your decisions. So we're going to move on now to your charms and to your dice to get you some extra messages. So if at any point you want to turn down the volume on your device now that we're going to do the charms, then that is completely your prerogative. Feel free to do that. They are mainly metal charms, so they can be a little bit loud. And some people really love the sound and other people really don't. So let's get you some extra messages, group 2. Okay. So we have got Aries, the Aries charm there. We've got an angel feather, so angels are around you and they are working with you at this time. I can see that the jade ball has rolled away, they always do. So the jade ball represents health and career and finances, so that fits well with that money will be coming to you message. We have just married. Okay, that often refers to relationships where there's commitment, whether it's marriage or just, commitment in general. Treat yourself, look after yourself with the muffin. Do something good for you. I can see that feeling of stuckness. Spider's web, feeling trapped or caught in a situation. Lord Eros or Cupid is there to help you with this. So maybe you feel stuck in your romantic life, but I do feel that generally you're feeling stuck just in general, and with regards to maybe your career or your personal goals, you feel stagnant. But Lord Eros is there to help you with your romantic life. And you also have another deity. Wow, you got a lot of help spiritually, group 2. You've got Lord Ganesha, and he is a god of healing and of wisdom, but also of moving obstacles out of your path. So he's a perfect deity to have with you at this time, and both of them showing up in your reading means that they want to help you. They're here for you. If you feel comfortable working with them, then do reach out to them. We have the anxiety about timing charm, which makes so much sense with the messages we've gotten about feeling like you're running out of time or that you've been stuck for a very long time. The cartouche there is a symbol of strong divine intervention in your life. So whenever we get the cartouche, it's a symbol of like a 2 lifetime deal. So in this life and in your next life, you will have an incredible amount of divine intervention and divine presence in your life. Lots of higher beings will be around you very frequently in your life. We have got the starfish, which is a healing symbol, and also the letter K. So that could be like knight, like the Knight of Swords, but probably it refers to a person or a word or a place maybe, or just something that comes to mind with the letter K. It doesn't necessarily have to start with K. K could just be a significant sound within that word or name. So just take whatever comes to you from that. We'll move on now to your dice as well. Let's do your pre-shuffle, pre-roll even, can't shuffle dice. Wow, okay, so we're using the 7th set of dice for you, group 2. You are actually the first people to see these dice. So these are new dice that I got maybe about a week ago now, or a little bit earlier than that. They are the Harry Potter dice, and I've filmed, I think, 2 YouTube readings prior to this, and they've not once come out. So you're the first people to see this, because I don't think they've even come out in a personal reading either. But here are the Harry Potter dice, courtesy of the lovely and perpetually generous Kara, who is a patron and often donates decks to the channel. So they're the Harry Potter dice. We'll see how many we're rolling for you. And we're rolling all 9 of them for you. Wow. Okay, group 2, we're spoiling you today. We really are. So let's see, group 2. Right, here we go. Okay, so group 2. I can see that we've got Hermione there, not landing on any particular card. So Hermione makes sense given that you seem to have a lot of goals and a lot of things going on all at once. Hermione is this big overachiever, someone who always has lots of projects, and people never really understand how she has the time to do things. And, sometimes she's able to be in 2 places at once. And it feels like that's you. You always just have so much going on. And at the moment, it feels like you don't. You feel like you're invisible. We've got the cloak of invisibility. Like life is just passing you by and no one's noticing you. You have nothing to talk about. You have nothing to share. Not necessarily no interests, but no achievements to share and no progress to talk about. And that's difficult for you because that's just not what you're used to in life. Okay, we've got Hagrid. So there's a supportive person. There's someone who can help you, someone who can coach you or be a listening ear. You know, Hagrid often gives advice. And I think it's interesting because Hagrid is someone you would typically overlook in a sense. You might not think that Hagrid has the skills or the knowledge that he has. And so it makes sense with there being at least one person in your life that you can turn to right now that you don't really know about group 2 or that you haven't maybe considered could be useful or supportive or helpful for you in your life right now. We've got the person who's crouching or hiding, okay, or stealthing, okay, and maybe this refers to the fact that you're maybe hiding from people. Maybe you don't want to get into discussions with people because you don't have anything to share and you don't want to feel like a failure towards others. So there's really an issue here where you're worried about how you're being perceived or how you come across to others. What else have we got? We've got the telephone box there. So that's interesting. The telephone box is how you get into the Ministry of Magic, usually in quite a stealthy way. So it's like going into a new place or a new phase of your life, going into a new level in some ways. And I do feel that there is going to be a shift soon, but that you've just got to make that decision and choice for yourself. You've got to nourish and nurture yourself. Chicken legs there, taking care of yourself on that very basic level, detaching from everything for a time so that you can just nurture yourself back to a state where you're grounded and ready to come forward. What's this? Oh, it's Norbert. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, so Norbert, the baby dragon, hatching from his egg. So a new beginning, you know, rebirth in many ways. Sorry, I just had to stop filming for a moment there because my dog was starting to get something that she shouldn't have. So yeah, the sense of moving to a new level. We have also got the Hogwarts acceptance letter. Okay, so that again refers to a new beginning. Doesn't it, group 2, this new beginning for your life? And also in many ways recognition for what you've done. So there is going to be recognition in the future. And finally we've got Peeves and the poltergeist. So things maybe seeming to go wrong without explanation, or things irritating you, things getting in the way, you know, problems that are maybe acting as a distraction from the decision or the next moves that you need to be planning. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. But I do definitely see there being this rebirth soon once you've taken this time just to have a breather and just detach from everything that's going on and, you know, try not to think about it too much, because if you're still thinking about something, even if you're not acting upon it, your energy is still there. And so energetically, it's like the break never even happened, if that makes sense. It is very difficult to stop thinking about something, especially when it's very important to you. But I see that as being necessary for you to just take your time making this choice or deciding what to do. So that's what I'm seeing in your reading group 2. Very positive, and I love that your spiritual team is so proud of you and just want to support you and encourage you to make the right choices for yourself. Please let me know in the comments how this resonated with you. I would love to hear from you. And please do like, share and subscribe as well if you enjoyed this video. That helps me to get seen more on YouTube and helps us to get these messages to as many people as possible. If you're interested in the work that I do and you would like to get more involved, then do check out the comment that I post in the comments section and also the description box as well. They're both full of links. So you can go and book a private reading or a healing session or get information about your guardian angel over on my Etsy page. And probably when I post this, the Yule sale will be live. So at least some products will have a discount attached to them up until the solstice time. So yep, do check that out. I would love it if you would go over to Patreon and consider becoming a patron. There you can offer more regular support to the channel in exchange for rewards. So you get, for example, access to exclusive picker cards, healing sessions, giveaways, and all other kinds of things that I do over there. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, you'll get daily oracle cards in your feed. And of course, if you'd like to donate to the channel, that would be so kind of you. I've got my PayPal link for tips and donations, which support me in the work that I do and help me to keep making these videos. And I also have my tarot and oracle wish lists, one on Amazon and an independent one for things that can't be bought on Amazon, which also include a dice deck each as well. So that's if you want to get me some kind of Yule gift or birthday gift. I've got a birthday coming up next month as well. Yeah. If you like to get crystal jewelry as well, there's a discount going for Violet Stream Tarot viewers. If you use the code VIOLET and click on the link that's in the description box, then you'll get 10% off your first order of handmade crystal jewelry with free international shipping. The jewelry is beautiful, so I really do recommend it. And yeah, they're very kindly offering that discount to all of my viewers, so do take advantage of that if you would like to. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. Do take care of yourselves, Group 2. Have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you to your spiritual team and to mine for helping us to get these messages to you today, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Take care. Hey there, Group 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the red jacketed Nutcracker and the Tarot of the Divine, this is going to be your reading. So I'm just going to pop him there. So let's get your tarot cards first, okay? Group 3, I would love it if you could subscribe as well if you haven't already. That means that you get notified whenever I release a video, so you never miss an upload, and it also helps out my channel as well. Group 3. Ooh, that just flew out. Okay. So we have got the 3 of coins, or the 3 of pentacles. And then we've got the 10 of swords. Four of cups. And the Queen of Swords. Wow, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius coming through in this reading quite strongly. So interesting reading. I kind of get the feeling that you're clinging on like by a thread, Group 3. I feel like you've had a lot thrown at you recently. I feel like you're trying to keep your cool with the Queen of Swords. You're trying to remain rational, and in a sense, I also feel like you're trying to remain kind. I feel like this is going to be a lot of different situations for different people watching this, but I think it all boils down to lots of things are happening now that are causing you irritation. They might be very small things that are all building up. I feel as though people are causing problems for you, even if they don't mean to, and that's kind of pushing you to your limit, but you're also thinking like, but I don't want to be mean, you know, I don't want to upset these people by saying something that I can then never take back, you know, with the 10 of swords. Like, I don't want to say something that once said cannot be retracted, you know, even if it's what I truly think and feel. Maybe there's no need to say that, you know, so maybe you can see someone's shortcomings and failures really, really clearly, and it's impacting upon you, but you don't want to point that out to that person because obviously that would be very upsetting for them and it might spoil the relationship. Maybe people are just not being helpful and you just want to snap and scream at them, and you're thinking, no, I shouldn't do that because they don't mean to be this way. You know, they don't mean to pile this up on me. This is just what they're doing. So I can definitely see that there's a lot of irritation there, and also a sense of like kind of boredom or a lack of fulfillment with the 4 of cups. It's kind of like a what's the point card. So lots to unpack here. We'll see what your oracle cards have to say. But I can definitely see that you're just trying to keep your cool and trying to be, you know, the bigger person here. You don't want to cause any pain, but you feel like you're about to snap. I just feel like lots of swords are being directed towards your throat chakra. That's like a channeled vision that I just got. So like lots of swords either being held by people or just floating in the air, all pointing towards your throat chakra. And you're thinking like, I want to speak to defend myself or to clear these swords, but I also don't want to be attacked, you know, or I don't want to feel like my words are ripping others to shreds. So we have number 33, vulva, coming out here, prophecy, guidance, direction. So again, this does sort of suggest that you have maybe some spiritual abilities and you're just trying to be the bigger person. You don't want to, you know, upset people. Here, you don't want to cause problems. Maybe it's because you have these spiritual abilities that you're able to see through people's behavior and recognize why it's happening, and so you can have compassion for that. I'm just really getting this feeling of you seeing that people are bothering you or situations are all piling up, but you know it's not really their fault or not 100% their fault. Teacher, the Four of People. So that fits again with vulva. It's like you want to be a role model. Group 3, you're trying to lead by example. You're trying to show these family members that this is how you behave, this is how you resolve disputes, or you're trying to show maybe your children or your friends or a romantic partner that this is what you do. You don't, go low, you go high. Equally, maybe it's work colleagues. It's just like you're trying to lead by example, but you're really struggling to do that. You're like clinging on by a thread, I can see. So really struggling to like maintain, that diplomatic distance. You're really getting to the end of your rope. Okay, so your spiritual teams say, continue to grow by seeking new knowledge. We applaud your efforts, number 43. And I love that because it's like, we applaud you for trying to keep it together throughout all of this. I like the seeking new knowledge message as well. Like always trying to learn more, like the teacher, you never stop learning. Even when you become a mentor or a teacher or a guide, you're always continually learning as well. When you seek to stop being a student, that's when you've hit a wall, and that's when you need to really examine what's going on. So we also have this card, take the time to pamper yourself or let others take care of you, number 22. Obviously that's not very easy for some people depending on their circumstances or life situation, but I feel like it's saying, yes, don't be unkind to people if you feel like they don't deserve to hear the truth, bluntly, but equally don't pander to them, pull people up to be the best that they can be, because I feel like group 3, you're probably a light worker like me, or someone whose role it is in life to try and encourage people to be the best possible version of themselves. And when you see people failing to do that, or when you see people just kind of aimlessly wandering through life, bumping into situation after situation, and maybe failing a lot or struggling or maybe not helping themselves, that can be very frustrating. And there's a way to go about it, absolutely. You can softly nudge rather than harshly demand, but I feel like your role at the moment is to encourage people to be the best possible version of themselves, but equally maintain that distance so that you can look after yourself, and so that you, I guess, aren't relying on others. I think it's nice if you can accept what others offer to you, but if you can just not be reliant on them to fulfill you emotionally or to fulfill even practical needs. When you ask someone to do something and they end up not doing it, and that makes your day so much more difficult. I think just doing what's necessary yourself and only asking people for help if it's not absolutely necessary, or if it's not something that needs to be done absolutely today or this minute, I think that's going to help you get through this situation, group 3. Okay, so we've got a couple of cards here. So your first card is Will, Wisdom and Mind, number 20. Now you can read that in the reverse or in the upright because it landed like this, so it could have been either. I did pick it up in the reverse though, instinctively, so we'll take it like that. So number 20, Will, Wisdom and Mind in the reverse, or upright if you want to read it that way. 6 of Keys, Iridescent Moon, also in the reverse. And then the Waterfall in the reverse, 6 of Forces, so 2 6s right next to each other there. And because they're reversed, they look like 9s, like getting to the end of your tether or getting to the end of a cycle, group 3. So because I haven't used that deck for a very long time, I am going to refresh my understanding of the reversed meanings with the guidebook. I've been doing this with everyone's reading, just using the guidebook with this particular deck. So I'm going to read Will, Wisdom and Mind in both ways, and you can fit that how it fits to your situation, because I think the fact that it came out perfectly horizontally means that it could be, read in either way. So In the upright, it says this card brings with it a time of enormous power, balance, and expression. The first 3 rays are the energies of the divine move within you equally. Power and will, love and wisdom, and intellect or mind. You are working intimately, even if you're not conscious of it, with the Ascended Masters who are linked to these energies. With the participation of the Masters, you can raise your focus to a higher power and purpose. You can combine the fire of creativity with the water of receptivity in order to make your contribution to the world. With the gold crown raised high, you're likely to find yourself in a significant position of authority and influence at this time. Sorry, I should be holding it upright for this position, shouldn't I? It is likely to be a phase of great activity, but you can handle it. With these powers in play, you're able to discipline yourself to bring together the meditation, creativity, rest, and action required. Take advantage of this time and use these powers well. They are nothing less than the divine forces moving through you so that you can manifest their power in the world. So that's the upright meaning. And if that fits for you, please take that message. But for those of you for whom that didn't fit, we'll take the reversed meaning. And this might be more of you because this is how I instinctively picked it up. So it says, at this time your authority may be diminished and there might even be a loss of position. You may feel like your talents, energies, and even your higher guides are missing in some way. Fire does not burn downward and water doesn't flow up. You've been spinning your wheels, overthinking things, and going around and around the same issues with little clarity about what's next. Though it still might be a time of great activity, much of that action can seem futile and repetitive. Nonetheless, the coat of arms of the Isle of Man flies high. That's on the top there, sharing its message that however you land, you will stand, even in these difficult times. So take a step back and don't try to fight the forces at hand. Get out of your head and do what you can to reconnect with your higher guides. Your outer influence may be diminished right now because your crown has been toppled, but your strength and authority have now become the foundation upon which to build anew. You can bring mental, emotional, and physical balance back to your life by working with the exquisite and powerful energies depicted in this card. The more you become aware of these forces within you, the sooner the right flow of energy will return. So interesting that the Triskelion, the coat of arms of the Isle of Man, is at the top there because that's Manannal MacLear, one of my patron deities, showing up and making his presence felt in this reading. So let's look at the iridescent moon in the reverse. So this reversal shows that a phase of decrease is here. The moon is waning, the tides are ebbing away. Energy, money, and even your creative flow may feel tight for a while. The forces around you seem prohibitive, so conserve your energy rather than spending it on futile action. Though this seems like a difficult time, don't be dismayed. It's not permanent. The moon, like all things, moves in cycles and quickly too. So take a deep breath, rest, and know that the time of increase will return. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense with your authority feeling diminished, with you feeling like you can't manage all of these different things that are going on around you, or that nobody's listening to you perhaps. Makes a lot of sense to me personally there. And just reminding yourself that this isn't going to last forever. I think that's really important. Also interesting how it mentioned money feeling tight, because if you're watching this when I upload, although it is a timeless reading, then we are in the festive period when a lot of people find money to be quite tight, and into January as well, often that continues. So that's an interesting message. So also the waterfall in reverse says, reverse, this card indicates a situation where you're feeling a significant loss of power. Absolutely, that's what we've already heard. This waterfall reversed shows that you are in an emotionally reactive time. You may feel like your life has turned totally upside down, or you may have unintentionally given your power to someone else, whether it's a lover, a boss, a family member, or a friend. Perhaps you are following another person's agenda in spite of your own intuition not to do so. In a more extreme form, you may have completely given up, falling into depression or living according to the dictates of another. It's imperative that you rise up and take your power back. It may seem foreign for you to do so, but it's a lesson that your soul longs for you to learn. During this phase, take time in your meditations and restful states to tap the love, power, and value of your spirit. When you understand your true value, you will know that you deserve to carve out your own destiny, and you'll take the steps to do so. So I think that's a really lovely message, Group 3, to just really put your focus in those restful states, in your sleep, in your meditation, in your quiet downtime, when you're not being, plagued by all of these issues that seem to be floating around for you and causing you problems. I think that's really important to just treasure those times and those moments and use that as a time to reconnect to higher love, love that's unconditional, divine love, and reconnect to your purpose overall. Because I do feel that a lot of the people watching group 3 today are light workers. Okay, so group 3, then we have selvtillid. Vær ikke bange for at flyve solo. Okay, so that means self-confidence. Do not be afraid to fly solo. Okay, and that makes so much sense with this feeling of your power being diminished or your authority not being recognized, getting back that self-confidence and not being afraid to fly solo, not being afraid to do things alone for a while or to turn away from the expectations or demands of another or to, not be afraid of what other people think about your decisions, about your choices, all of those things. That's a beautiful card. I love the purple of that card as well. I think it's such a lovely color scheme. Let's keep going. So really, working on that self-confidence. Group 3. So then we've got Artemis. Yes, independence. That really fits with that self-confidence card, independence. And Psyche, persistence. Yes, nevertheless, she persisted. Keep going when you feel stuck, when you feel like it's not worth it, when you feel like you're hitting a brick wall, like the waterfall that's just flowing backwards or flowing away. Keep going and don't let it diminish your belief in yourself, your confidence, your drive and determination to achieve what it is that you're wanting to bring about. Then we have got the wolf or fox-like figure that's tracking these human footprints. So basically the prey becoming the predator or the hunted becoming the hunter. Feeling like the tables have turned, I think, is just what that's talking about. We've mentioned the loss of authority or the perceived loss of power. We've mentioned feeling like your life has turned upside down or like you've suddenly fallen off the horse, so to speak. You've just suddenly lost your control of a situation. It feels like things have suddenly started to overwhelm you or get on top of you when that hasn't maybe been the case recently. It's jolted your equilibrium and now you're thinking, well, what do I do? My horse is running away. How do I get back onto it, and get back into the battle or back into the game? It feels like for you, you're kind of looking at everything going on and thinking, the game is playing without me. I've been knocked out, but I'm still here. I need to get back on the horse or I need to get back in the game. Everyone else is just carrying on as normal or just ignoring me. I feel like I'm shouting into the void here. Why is no one paying attention to me or why is no one listening to reason or the truth or common sense which I'm speaking? There's just this sort of what's going on message. So it does feel like the world has turned on its head for you a little bit, group 3, even if it's in quite a mundane way. So really interestingly, we've got Das Tau, number 6, the Tau, and that is obviously a message of balance, but it did actually land upside down. So there is this sense of you losing your balance and needing to regain it, needing to get back that sense of control and peace and equilibrium within your own self. So the Tau, that also makes sense with using your restful states and your meditation to regain that balance. And then Das Licht, number 5. Interesting that you've got number 6 and number 5. The light. Okay. Following the light, that just completely confirms to me that you're a light worker. Group 3, that you have this inner guiding light that you need to shine into the world. And so it's that light that you need to reconnect to in your restful states, that light that you need to allow to guide you to what steps you need to take, what you need to do, etc. Really, really lovely messages. Okay, so these cards now are Karten der Partnerschaft, partnership cards, and these are going to sort of highlight what's going on in a relationship in your life right now. So it could be a romantic relationship, a friendship, a work relationship, family relationship. It doesn't matter. Just apply this to wherever you're seeing it in your life right now. These are energies or dynamics that are currently going on that your spiritual team are seeing and noticing. So number 15 gives us Gastfreundschaft, hospitality. Okay, so maybe you're staying with someone, or maybe you're putting someone up, like letting them stay with you, and maybe that's causing a strain on the relationship, but hospitality is not just about having someone over to stay. It can also be just about showing kindness to another, giving to another. But I'm wondering if maybe with this whole world has turned on its head message and no one's listening to me, I wonder if maybe you're staying with someone and everything's done differently there, or everything's so much more difficult there, or you feel like you're walking on eggshells because it's not your home, or maybe you're having someone to stay with you and you're having to make endless compromises for them, or you're seeing that in your family or something going on. Like, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting for some of you. You have also got Die Vergangenheit verzerren, number 56. Okay, so that means distorting the past. So seeing the past in a way that is not accurate, really, or seeing the past in a way that isn't how things actually happened in reality. So it could be that you're making something a bigger deal than it actually was at the time, like thinking, oh, and they're doing this to me now, and they did all this in the past and I was devastated, when actually you were just sort of mildly annoyed. Or it can be looking at the past with more of a rose tinted view, downplaying what's happened in the past to make excuses for someone. Take that how that resonates with you, but it's anything to do with distorting the past so that you're not seeing how it actually was in reality. And we also have lernen, number 27, learning. So you and another person learning through their relationship. And I think that works really nicely with the teacher card as well, trying to be a role model or to lead by example for someone. I think it's also pointing towards like you learning from the relationship as well. It's not just one person's teaching and the other person's learning. I think it's that you're both mutually learning maybe how to coexist or what each other needs. Those kinds of things. Wow. Okay. There we go. Didn't need to do much shuffling there. So these cards, I always like to get quite a few messages from them because they are a really interesting concept. They're tea leaf cards. So they take symbols that you would get when you are reading the tea leaves, which is another form of divination. And together they all build up a picture. These together build up a nice picture of what's going on. And yeah, I think it's really cool that they've put that into a card format. So you've got quite a few cards, so I will show you them all. You've got club. Someone will try to make you do something against your will. And I think that fits with this feeling of a loss of decision making or authority. Chair, filled. Someone new is entering your life. So a new person coming into your life, a new acquaintance, a new relationship. Dagger, fear, worries, tense situations. Yeah, I was really picking up on that with you feeling like you just had no control, like you were just screaming into the void, so to speak. You've got March, the month of March. Interesting that you've got the snowdrops there because you've got snowdrop symbolism in this card as well. Snowdrops are normally associated with the January because they're pretty much the only flowers that start growing around that time, but that's really interesting that you've gotten those sort of growing in the very harsh conditions. Maybe that's symbolic of you right now. You have man, dealings or relationship with a man, so some important masculine energy in your life. Dog, far away, a distant friend is thinking of you. That's really sweet. Whale, great worry over nothing. So yes, maybe you are making a situation bigger than it is or bigger than it needs to be just because you're so stressed and everything's piling up on top of each other. Bear, danger, especially in money matters. Maybe there's someone who's asking for a loan who shouldn't be trusted, for example. Maybe you need to protect your finances or just reevaluate your financial security. We also have January. Interesting because I said the snowbells were important in January. Crib, birth or conception of a child or enterprise. So that could fit with the new person entering your life message. September. Interesting because that's like 9 months from now. And wall, misunderstanding. Okay, so some of you might be trying to have a baby, or there might be an announcement of a baby in your family. Maybe that's going to bring up some, difficult thoughts for you or difficult emotions. Unresolved things. There is a distant friend thinking of you, someone who is not physically around you. Worries are compounding each other and exacerbating each other and making a situation much more difficult than it would be normally. And yeah, there's a lot of fear and worry, maybe around money. We did mention that money is possibly feeling a little bit tight in this month, but it's possible that people are coming towards you for loans, for example, and you either don't have the money to give or you don't trust them to repay it. Maybe that's where this thing comes in of like just, wishing people would take more responsibility for themselves or seeing people's failures very clearly. So lots and lots of things going on. You have full moon in Aries. Cool your emotions. That really makes sense because it seems like you're just in such a whirlwind situation right now. Group 3, with all of these things just piling up and feeling so huge. And then we have "Я вас слушаю." Now that is so interesting. Okay, it's the 7 of diamonds, as you can see, which also kind of looks a bit like 70. Maybe that has a meaning for you. But "Я вас слушаю" means I'm listening to you. And it's often said in Russia, like on the phone, when you call a company or something. You'll say hello and they'll say "слушаю," like, I'm here or I'm listening or how can I help? It kind of is synonymous with those kinds of things. So it's like, I'm listening to you, but maybe I'm only doing it transactionally. Maybe I'm only listening to you because I think I'm going to get something from you. Or maybe I'm only listening to you because you've demanded that I do. So I feel like you're having problems with people where it's like, you feel like you're talking to them, but that they're only present or they're only listening because they think they might get something back from you. Like, I really feel a frustration here of just not being heard by your nearest and dearest or by the people you're maybe living with or spending a lot of time with. And it's like, you're really disrespecting me. It's like, I have so many things that I could say about you that are like all of your failings and shortcomings. I could really list all of the ways in which you've hurt me in the past, and maybe you might be exaggerating that or even downplaying it, and you're just like, and yet you don't even have the courtesy to listen to my problems or to listen to an update on my life or just what's happened in my day. You're just not even there mentally. You're too wrapped up in your own situation. That's the vibe I'm getting, is just this frustration and anger at being ignored or not being respected by people around you. Not even in an egotistical sense, but just in like a common courtesy sense. Okay, so I am seeing that, group 3, and I'm mildly annoyed on your behalf. But we'll move on to your charms and your dice now to get your extra messages. So if you would like to turn down the volume now, that is completely your choice and your prerogative. The charms can be a bit loud because they are mainly metal. Some people love the sound, some people really don't like it, so it's your choice whether to turn down the volume on your device now or not. Group 3. Okay. So what have we got going on? We've got Cancer showing up there in the astrology dice. Now, Cancer obviously can talk about emotions and sentimentality. Sentimentality might be talking about that whole distorting the past message, sort of looking on the past with rose-tinted spectacles. But Cancer also is very much a homely sign. It always makes me think of the 4th house because that is ruled by Cancer. So the 4th house is anything to do with the home and family, and it feels like that's where this is happening. It feels like people are staying with you, or it feels like your family are coming together and yet they're not mentally there for you, but they expect you to be for them. Or it feels like your home is just being overrun with problems and issues and you're getting stressed. So there's a lot of stuff going on there that's sort of connected to things hitting home and things being like really right in your face all the time. You can't get away from them because it's going on in your home or it's going on in your family, you know. And that's just causing you stress, and you're just thinking, everyone, please go away, or please leave me alone, or stop piling on these things to cause me more stress or irritation. So that's something I'm picking up on quite strongly, is just this mild sense of anxiety surrounding the home and or the family or nearest and dearest. So we've got trust and have faith that you will get through this situation. Trust that this is a temporary situation, as we talked about with the moon and its cycles. We do have the baby tapir. Now, the baby tapir is a symbol of children. Okay, so children being a focus or a priority or something to consider. Okay, so maybe that is to do with the baby, that you're just spending time with loved ones who are young, babies or very young children. Maybe it's that you want to have a baby or a child, and or that there is someone in your close family or friendship circle who is pregnant or are going to announce that they're pregnant or that they're going to have a baby soon. And maybe if you don't have that, that's triggering you and it's causing more, stress and panic and anxiety on top of everything else, because it's like unresolved feelings and issues there. But the baby tapir is also a symbol of being unwilling to speak up. So when your confidence is low or you just don't want to get into a confrontation, and I have seen that repeatedly throughout your reading. We've got the love and relationships ball here, so there are genuinely people who cherish you. And I think actually that a lot of these people who are causing these problems for you do genuinely love you. They just are kind of not really seeing far past their own nose right now. They're just seeing their own aura and their own situation, and they're not recognizing the stress that they're putting on you. Or if someone is announcing a pregnancy and you've always wanted children, maybe you've not voiced that and so they don't know. Or if you have had your struggles with fertility, maybe they're not aware of that, or they're so wrapped up in their own excitement that they don't even consider that. And that's very hurtful, because often, at least from my personal perspective, thoughtlessness can be more painful than genuine malice or someone genuinely trying to hurt you. So I do see that coming through. And we've got another child-centered charm with this cute little unicorn, which talks about children but also innocence and purity. So I think just reminding yourself that you're the innocent party in all of this is going to be really helpful for you. We've got the Black Knight, which talks about a mysterious stranger coming into your life, or someone who keeps their motivations and thoughts hidden. So that could fit with the new person coming into your life, or it could fit with you just not wanting to talk about what's on your mind because you don't want to hurt someone, by giving them the truth. We've got creativity, inspiration, music maybe helping you through the difficult times. We have good luck. The dragonfly, it's also a fire elemental. And blossoming, beauty, that's a springtime symbol as well. So sort of coming back after a difficult time or a period of retraction and constriction, which is symbolic of the winter time. So we'll get your dice on top now and we'll do your pre-roll first. So we're rolling the second set of dice for you. Those are the original dice. These ones. Look at how there's like the sad person here, and then there's the person who is like smiling but looks also like they're struggling a little bit. That's kind of what I'm feeling with you, is this sort of symbol of you're putting on a happy face or trying to, but you're also kind of not, you want people to know that you're not happy without being manipulative emotionally. There's also the bee symbol there when you've got the bee on one of your cards, and there's the house when I was mentioning house and home. So lots of important things just coming up there. Obviously learner as well. Oh my goodness. Blossoming and Libra. Crazy. Okay, I need to get to actually rolling the dice and not just looking, but I do like to sometimes just do a reading from the box when I first open it for a reading. Group 3. So we are rolling 7 dice for you today, Group 3. Okay. Okay, here we go. So group 3, I can see you feeling like an outsider. the alien there, feeling isolated, feeling like no one understands you. You know, we go back to that misunderstanding card with the wall, feeling like, why am I the only one that seems to be on the outside? Everyone else is just getting along fine, like sheep, you know? That can also stand for people who are born in the Chinese year of the sheep or goat, so zodiac sign there. Wanting to bail, wanting to escape this situation at all costs, the parachute. Leaving things to chance or a roll of the dice. This dice often means that you feel like things are out of your hands now, they're out of your control. You know, when we talk about the tables have turned again, maybe it's just going to take another roll of the dice to change them back again. You know, you never know. And it feels like you're trying to get to grips with not being in control of everything at all the time. We have the World, symbolic of completion, but it's interesting that you've got the World dice when you also have this message of a distant friend is thinking of you. So maybe you're going to connect or reconnect with a friend who's not physically nearby, and you're going to enjoy maybe having a nice call with them or a nice chat, and that just takes you out of this situation. You know, the postcard is symbolic of that as well. That's more brief communication though with people at a distance. So all of that fits, and then we'll finish with this lovely dice, symbol of freedom, the key, freedom, solutions to problems, fixing things, you know, unblocking stuff that is blocked or locked to you, figuring things out basically. So I think that's a lovely dice to end on, just this knowledge that it is going to be okay, and you're not always going to feel like, you know, completely out of control, or like you can't get all of these things done. So that's what I'm seeing in your reading today, Group 3. Thank you so much for being here. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of this, whether this resonated with you. And please do like, share and subscribe as well if you enjoyed this video. That really helps me to get seen more on YouTube. Check out the links in my comment, in the comments section below, and or in the description box. You can go ahead and book a private reading or a healing session with me on my Etsy page. You can also get information about your guardian angel over there. Probably when I'm posting this, the Yule sale is going to be live, so there will be products that are on sale right now up until the solstice. If you would like to follow me on Instagram, you'll get daily oracle cards in your feed. I would love it as well if you would head over to Patreon and consider becoming a patron. Over there you can offer more regular support to the channel in exchange for access to things like exclusive picker cards, healing sessions, giveaways and other things that I do over there. If you would like to send me a gift, given that we're nearly at Yule and also nearly at my birthday, that would be very kind of you. I have a PayPal link for tips and donations which support me in the work that I do and help me to keep making these videos. And I also have my Amazon wishlist and my independent wishlist for tarot, oracle and dice sets. So if you'd like to send me a gift, that's the place to do it. And also, if you would like to get 10% off crystal handmade jewelry, then we have a lovely offer on for Violet Stream Tarot viewers. Very kindly, Modern Day Manifestations are offering 10% off for all viewers of this channel. If you use the link in the description box or in my comment to validate the discount code, then you'll go over to the website. They have free international shipping, and you use the discount code VIOLET to get 10% off your first order. The bracelets are beautiful. They are really good quality, and there's such a range to choose from that I'm sure there will be anything there for anyone's style or anyone's tastes. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, Group 3. Thank you so much for watching. Please do take care of yourselves. It does sound like a very stressful time for you. Thank you to your spiritual team and my spiritual team for helping us to get these messages to you today. And have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Take care.